Free admission, free appraisal, free alterations, free delivery, free estimates, free home trial, and free parking. No cash? No problem. No kidding. No fuss, no muss, no risk, no obligation, no red tape, no hidden charges, no down payment, no entry fee, no purchase necessary. No one will call on you, no payments or interest till December, and no parking. Limited time only, though, so act now, order today, send no money, offer good while supplies last, 2 to a customer, each item sold separately, batteries not included, mileage may vary. All sales are final, allow 6 weeks for delivery, some items not available, some assembly required, some restrictions may apply. Shop by mail, order by phone. Try it in your home, get one for your car. All entries become our property. Employees not eligible, entry fees not refundable. Local restrictions apply. Void where prohibited, except in Indiana. So come on in for a free demonstration and a free consultation with our friendly professional staff. Our courteous and knowledgeable sales representatives will help you make a selection that's just right for you and just right for your budget. And say, don't forget to pick up your free gift. A classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet pocket flashlight. And if you act now, we'll include an extra added free complimentary bonus gift, a classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet, leather-style wallet with detachable keychain and a pencil holder. It's our way of saying thank you. And if you're not completely satisfied, you pay nothing. Simply return the unused portion for a full refund, no questions asked. It's our way of saying thank you. Keep your free gift. Actually, it's our way of saying bend over just a little further and let us stick this big dick into your ass a little bit deeper.
People are fucking dumb. You can say what you want about this country, and I love this place. I love the freedoms we used to have. I love it. I love that. You know? I love it when it didn't take a fucking catastrophe to get us to care for one another. I love the fact that we're on camera all the time from all angles. But you know what? You can say what you want about America. And I say I love this place. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't live in any other time in history in any other place. But say what you want about America. Land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumb-ass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumb-ass motherfuckers, you know? Yeah. Now, obviously, that doesn't include this audience. I understand that. You seem intelligent and perceptive, but the rest of them, holy jumping fucking shitballs. Dumber than a second coat of paint. And this ain't just ranting and raving. This ain't just blowing off steam. I got a little evidence to support my claim. It just seems to me, that only a really low IQ population could have taken this beautiful continent, this magnificent American landscape that we inherited. Well, actually, we stole it from the Mexicans and the Indians, but hey, it was nice when we stole it. It looked pretty good. It was pristine. Paradise. Have you seen it lately? Have you taken a good look at it lately? It's fucking embarrassing. Only a nation of unenlightened half-wits could have taken this beautiful place and turned it into what it is today, a shopping mall. A big fucking shopping mall. You know that? That's all you got. That's all you've got here, folks. Mile after mile of mall after mall. Many, many malls. Major malls and mini malls. They put the mini malls in between the major malls. And in between the mini malls, they put the mini marts. And in between the mini marts, you got the car lots, gas stations, muffler shops, laundromats, cheap hotels, fast food joints, strip clubs, and dirty bookstores. America the Beautiful. One big transcontinental commercial cesspool. And how do the people feel about all this? How do the people feel about living in a coast-to-coast shopping mall? Well, they think it's just fucking dandy. They think it is cool as can be, because Americans love the mall. They love the mall. That's where they get to satisfy their two most prominent addictions at the same time: shopping and eating. Millions of semi-conscious Americans, day after day, shuffling through the malls, shopping and eating, especially eating. Americans love to eat. They are fatally attracted to the slow death of fast food. Hot dogs, corn dogs, triple bacon cheeseburgers, deep fried butter dipped in pork fat and cheese whiz, mayonnaise, soaked barbecue, mozzarella, patty melts. Americans will eat anything, anything, anything. If you were selling sauteed raccoons' assholes on a stick, Americans would buy them and eat them. These people are efficient, professional, compulsive consumers. They think of that as their national pride. It's their civic duty. Consumption. It's the new national pastime. Fuck baseball. It's consumption. The only true, lasting American value that's left, buying things. Buying things. People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need, so they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But
well, I think things ought to be named for what they are. I think there ought to be a little more truth in names. You know, they've tried to clean up advertising claims. Let them clean up some of the names like Excello and Acme and Ace and Top. Bullshit. I like things to be called what they are. I like to bring out a new car, the 1977 piece of shit. A division of United Consumer Fuckers.
Well, you know, whenever you're exposed to advertising in this country, you realize all over again that America's leading industry is still the manufacture, distribution, packaging, and marketing of bullshit. High-quality bullshit, world-class designer bullshit, to be sure. Hospital-tested, clinically proven bullshit, but bullshit nonetheless. And it always amuses me that so many people seem to think that bullshit only comes from certain sources. You know, advertising, politicians, salesmen. Not true. Bullshit is everywhere. Bullshit is rampant. Parents are full of shit. Teachers are full of shit. Clergymen are full of shit. Law enforcement people are full of shit. The entire country is completely full of shit. In fact, this country was founded by a group of slave owners who told us that all men are created equal. That is what's known as being stunningly full of shit. And you know, I think, and I think people show their ignorance when they say they want politicians to be honest. What are these people talking about? If honesty were suddenly introduced into politics, it would throw everything off. The whole system would collapse. And I think deep down the American people know that. The American people like their bullshit out front, where they can get a good, strong whiff of it. That's why they reelected Clinton. Listen. Clinton might be full of shit, but he lets you know it. Dole tried to hide it. I'm an honest man. Bullshit. Bullshit. People don't believe that shit. Clinton said, "Hi, I'm full of shit, and how do you like that?" And the people said, "At least he's honest. At least he's honest about being full of shit." It's like the business world. All businessmen are completely full of shit. Just the worst kind of people you could ever want to run into. Businessmen. And the proof of it is, they don't even trust each other. They don't trust each other. When a businessman is negotiating a deal, the first thing he does is to automatically assume that the other guy is a complete lying prick who's trying to fuck him on the deal. So he has to do everything he can to fuck the other guy a little bit harder and a little bit faster. And then, when it comes to dealing with customers, that's when you get the big smile. That's when you get the big smile. Businessman always has that big smile on his face as he carefully positions himself directly behind the customer and unzips his pants and services the account. We specialize in customer service. You heard that? Now you know what it means. Whoever coined the phrase, "let the buyer beware," was probably bleeding from the asshole. Advertising sells you things you don't need and can't afford that are overpriced and don't work. And they do it by exploiting your fears and insecurities. And if you don't have any, they'll be glad to give you a few by showing you a nice picture of a woman with big tits. That's the essence of advertising. Big tits. Threateningly big tits. And speaking of big tits, what about show business? Show business, completely dishonest, corrupt, and full of shit, but in a nice way. Plenty of expensive drugs and perverted sex. If you're gonna be full of shit, might as well enjoy your work. Then you have the media. Not just the news media, let's include them all. The media are almost literally exploding with bullshit because they're located right at the crossroads of all the other bullshit. The media are made up of equal parts advertising, politics, business, public relations, and show business. These people are sitting right at bullshit junction. There's enough bullshit in the media for Texas to open a branch office. And you still have enough left over to start 2 law firms and a Christian bookstore. Because folks, I gotta tell you, when it comes to bullshit, truly major league bullshit, you have to stand back in awe of the all-time heavyweight champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. Organized religion. It's no contest. Religion easily has the best bullshit story of all time. Think about it. Religion has convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a list of 10 specific things he doesn't want you to do. And if you do any of these things, he will send you to a special place of burning and fire and smoke and torture and anguish for you to live forever and suffer and burn and scream until the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all-powerful, all-present, all-knowing, and all-wise. Just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions and billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and somehow they always need money. You talk about a good bullshit story. If I may be permitted a small pun, holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay. It's been a little while. It's been a little while since I've been here, and a couple of things have happened in that time. I'd like to talk a little bit about the war in the Persian Gulf. Big doings in the Persian Gulf. You know my favorite part of that war? It's the first war we ever had that was on every channel plus cable. And the war got good ratings, too, didn't it? Got good ratings. Well, we like war. We like war. We're a warlike people. We like war because we're good at it. And you know why we're good at it? Because we get a lot of practice. This country's only 200 years old, and already we've had 10 major wars. We average a major war every 20 years in this country, so we're good at it. And it's a good thing we are. We're not very good at anything else anymore. Huh? Can't build a decent car, can't make a TV set or a VCR worth of fuck. Got no steel industry left, can't educate our young people, can't get health care to our old people, but we can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Huh? We can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Especially if your country is full of brown people. Oh, we like that, don't we? That's our hobby. That's our new job in the world, bombing brown people. Iraq, Panama, Grenada, Libya, you
in the form of play dates. Something that should be spontaneous and free is now being rigidly planned. When does a kid ever get to sit in the yard with a stick anymore? You know, just sit there with a fucking stick. Do today's kids even know what a stick is? You know? But you know something, a kid shouldn't be wasting his time with a stick anyway. If he's 4 years old, he should be home studying for his kindergarten entrance exams. Do you know about that shit? Oh, they have them now, yeah. There are places that have kindergarten entrance exams. The poor little fuck. The poor little fuck, he can barely locate his dick. You know, and already he's being pressured to succeed. Pressured to succeed for the sake of the parents. Isn't this really just a sophisticated form of child abuse? And speaking of that, speaking of child abuse, next up, grade school. Grade school, where he won't be allowed to play tag because it encourages victimization. And he won't be allowed to play dodgeball because it's exclusionary. And it promotes aggression. Standing around is still okay. Standing around is still permitted, but it won't be for long because sooner or later some kid is going to be standing around and his foot will fall asleep and his parents will sue the school and it'll be goodbye fucking standing around. Yeah.
My last question, George, is that it seems to me you're kind of an icon for someone who can see the bad things going on, but not let it sort of harden your heart, not let it get into you and screw up your either mental state or your emotional state. Do you have any advice for people on how you can still stay engaged in the world and not just go insane with anger and resentment?
Become a spectator. That's what I am. I have found that over the last 20 to 30 years, somewhere in that span between 20 and 30 years ago, I began to pull away from having a stake in any of this. I don't really have an emotional stake in the outcome anymore in terms of my caring. I don't really give a fuck when you get right down to it. I don't care what happens to my species, because I think this species has squandered great gifts, namely and especially the gift of this mind we have, the brain / mind, which is able to distinguish between subject and object as a starter, and able to do a lot of abstract things that should have led us better places. And the opposable thumb and walking erect and that whole package, we should certainly have done better than to embrace superstitious religious belief that rules us and leads us, and the pursuit of goods and profit and territory and power. That's what we turned into. And I think the same is true of this culture. I have also found myself pulling away from this culture and not caring about the outcome, because I think the same thing is true. This culture, the country, the American country, was given great gifts. It developed great gifts on its own at the beginning, and I think we squandered these ideals, these noble purposes and ideals that we began with. And we went off the track because of the prosperity, primarily. We were always infected with the religious thing. That was always there underneath everything. But prosperity led to greed and possessiveness and wanting to own things and have them for their own sake. And now the American people politically have been bought off, have been completely silenced and bought off by gizmos and toys. And that's a line from the current show. And it's just a shame. So I pulled away emotionally, and I said, you know what, fuck them. Let them do what they want to do. I'm going to enjoy this shit as a spectator. And I look at it as a show. It's a big circus. It's a big parade, whatever metaphor you want to use. I think of it as the freak show. I like to say this. When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show. When you're born in America, you're given a front row seat. And man, I'm sitting there and I have my notebook out and I'm enjoying the show, and I wish I could live 1,000 years to watch this all develop. The rise of Russia, the rise of China, the Muslimization of Europe, the decline of the white race. It's going to be an amazing story as it develops, and I just wish I could see it all. I'm 70 now. I'll probably live to between 90 and 100, I think, and I'll get to see some of it, but it is an interesting, exciting thing to watch if you can detach yourself emotionally. And that's the end of that.
That's the best way to swallow all that stuff and believe it and still walk down the street singing a happy...
That's right.
Happy tune.
There's no anger in it, see? There's no anger, there's no emotional stake.
But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons...
plus plastic. The Earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the Earth. The Earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the Earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here?
Plastic. Assholes.
Comedians never get old. They don't.
Right.
They get old, but they live to be 150. George Carlin, the great George Carlin, just turned 70. And to celebrate his 50 years in show business, he's just released a DVD collection of all his comedy specials. And it's called George Carlin, All My Stuff. Please welcome comedy legend George Carlin.
Falsetto anymore. I used to be able to sing some nice high tenor in the hallways.
Like that guy, how did he do it? Whoa! He went, whoa!
Can't get the falsetto.
That's all right. So, George, before we talk about how old you're getting,
Yeah.
how does it feel to be 70 in the business? Does it feel any different?
No, it really doesn't.
It doesn't.
No. You know that time has passed, and you know you're getting better at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to. Anything you do, you better get better at it.
Yeah.
You better stop doing it.
That's right.
And so, you know what George Burns said? He said there are 5 stages of life: childhood, adulthood, middle age, old age, and you look great. And that's where I'm at now. The people, they say, hey, you look great. You know, you sound good.
Which is still funny. I mean, funny never goes away unless you get a dementia or something.
No, right.
Maybe even funnier.
That's right. Unintentionally. The thing is, it's not just the funny, but the ideas get richer. The writing. I found out at one point, I used to always, when I was a beginning comic, the first 20 years probably, I referred to myself as a comedian who wrote his own material, because I was proud of that, and a lot of comedians didn't. Comedian who wrote his own material. Then one day I sort of realized, after the fact, a few years, that I'd become a writer who performed his own material. And that really made a difference in my mind, in my heart.
How did that happen? How did that work?
I just matured into that. I had the skills to be a writer all along, apparently, and I was using them effectively, but in a little more of a frivolous way at first. And later, the experience is very a good thing, because it gives you something richer against which to compare what you're seeing. When you're 20 and you see X, Y, and Z, it bounces off a very thin wall. If you're 60 and you see the same thing, boy, it gets in there and it goes around a little bit and everything, and it's a richer output. So that's what I gained just from getting older.
George, do you think that, you know, you look at comedy now, do you think that you could, if you were starting out today, would there be a place for you?
Yeah, I had that question recently, slightly different, same idea. And I thought, gee, you know, if I were starting today, if I were 20, I wouldn't even know if I'd be the same person at 20 that I was then. Not with all of the things that would have happened between, let's say, 5 and 20, the technology, the demands, and the way the parents. My mother never would have been one of these professional parents, but I would have been a different person, and it would have been harder to start because I did my career on my own terms, and I don't know how many people get to do that anymore. I think there are too many expectations, there are too many pathways and rules, and true rebels don't seem to be around very much.
So what would you say to a 20-year-old then? What would you say?
I would say do what you love, do it well, and if people pat you on the back for it, you got it. The secret to happiness is finding something you love and doing it well, and then being recognized for it. Someone, even if it's one person who says you're doing a great job, or if it's applause, but those 3 things together. And you know, when I first changed the kind of stuff I was doing in the late 60s, I had been a suit and tie comic out of the 50s, and I had short hair and all that, and I realized I was doing the wrong thing for the wrong people, and I let myself change into a freer, more of a, if you can use the word hippie, look and attitude,
And I realized that, I said to my wife at that time when I changed, I said, you know, even if I only filled coffee houses 3 days a week for the rest of my life, I'd be happy doing that. And when you let go of goals and stuff, I mean, the attachment to goals, that's when things come to you. You should have an aim point, but not a thing like that.
Right. Well, I want to ask you, George, because you have this to celebrate the 50 years in show business. Yeah. All of your HBO specials are now in a collection called All My Stuff. And I have, as a stand-up comic, I'm just so excited. I have my favorite routines that you do. What are some of the most memorable routines in here?
Well, the time, it was a year or two later that I looked back and I had that realization that I've really become a writer. It was the 1992 show called Jammin' in New York, which was in Madison Square Garden, the theater there, 6,500 people. It was live. It was the first one they did live on HBO. It was my hometown. The place was full, and it was electric. And I had essays. For the first time, I was doing essays rather than bits. These were developed ideas that had a little bit of a serious overtone to them, but were relieved with laughter and irony all along. And after that started to sink in, I looked back and I thought, well, gee, that was a kind of a pivotal point. So there's a thing in there called The Planet is Fine. It's in the Jammin' in New York. The planet is fine. The people are... Because everybody's running around trying to save the planet. The planet doesn't need that. The planet will take care of itself. People are selfish, and that's what they're doing, is trying to save the planet for themselves to have a nicer place to live. They don't care about the planet in theory. They just care about having a comfortable place. And these people with the fires and the floods and everything, they overbuild, they put nature to the test, and they get what's coming to them. That's what I say.
Wow, that's a little harsh.
That's what's happening. Yeah, well, and I can't wait for the sea levels to rise. I can't wait for some of these. I can't wait for some of these cities to disappear.
I can't swim, George.
Yeah. There are places that are going to go away. The map is going to change, and that's because the real nature. People think nature is outside of them. They don't take into them the idea that we're part of it. They say, oh, we're going for a nature walk. We're going to the country because we like nature. Nature's in here. And if you're in tune with it, like the Indians, the Hopis especially, the balance of life, the balance, the harmony of nature, if you understand that, you don't overbuild. You don't do all this moron stuff. There are too many people.
What about the polluters? Let's go after them. The polluters, the corporations, they pollute.
It's a symphony. Everybody's in the band. You know, it's not just one. It's not just one group. People want their goodies. They want their toys. Everybody wants the newest gizmo. We're slaves to gizmos and toys.
They got it today.
I don't think they're unhappy.
Everybody wants a cell phone that'll make pancakes, and I think that'll make them happy. And it doesn't make them happy.
That's what'll happen when we watch this.
Well, you know, and thank you, George, because I want to let you guys know you are all messed up. The planet is fine. We are messed up.
That's right.
But if you are in New York City Thursday, George will be signing DVDs at the Borders on Wall Street from noon to 2 p.m. You got to be there, and we're going to be right back with James Lipton.
Trouble with it is trying to decide what to call these words, man. I'm trying to decide what to call this whole thing. You know, what are these words that I'm talking about? They're just words that we've decided, sort of decided, not to use all the time. That's about the only thing you can really say about them for sure. That they're just some words, not many either, just a few, that we've decided, well, we won't use them all the time. Sometimes, well, hell yeah. Sometimes it's okay, but not all the time. And they're the only words that seem to have that restriction. I mean, there are a lot of words you can say whenever you want, you know. Pneumonia! Nobody gives you a lot of... All right, you can't yell it in the hospital a great deal, but what the hell? There are words that you can say, no problem. Topography! No one has ever gone to jail for screaming topography. But there are some words that you can go to jail for. There are some words that we just have decided we will not say all the time. Sometimes Okay. If you're running through the jungle, chasing somebody that we're at war with, you can holler them. If you're shooting a criminal, it's okay. It's the all-American thing. Dirty fucking crook. But if you're with the bishop's wife at lunch, it's better not to ask for the goddamn lettuce. You know what I mean? It's just like we've decided there'll be some words we won't say all the time. And I was just trying to find out which words they were. For sure. All of them. I wanted a list. Because nobody gives you a list. That's the problem. They don't give you a list. Wouldn't you think it'd be normal if they didn't want you to say something to tell you what it is? Nobody even tells you when you're a kid what the words are that you're supposed to avoid. You have to say them to find out which ones they are. Shit! Oh, fuck! That's two. Oh, Ma, that's enough trial and error, huh? Please, Ma, give me a list, huh? All right, you're 6 years old now, and here's the list of words your dad and I don't ever want to hear you say. Oh, hey, thanks, Ma. Boy, that's gonna save me an ass kicking or two. Yeah, you never know what's going to be on the list. Because it's always somebody else's list. You didn't make that up. Somebody told you that shit. They told you better not say that. So you got to, and you don't know what's going to be on their list. God, people's lists even change from day to day. Some people on Friday night got a list, you know, about 2 or 3 words. Sunday morning, goddamn, there's like 27 words on it. These are the same people 2 days later. Different list. So you got to kind of watch out what you're going to believe from them. The trouble is, I was trying to find out what these words might be. And I wanted to know the ones that you could never say on television. I mean the filthy words that are always filthy. There are a lot of these little two-way, double-toned words that have 2 meanings, words that are okay part of the time. I call them like part-time filth. Some of these words, they're only 50% dirty. You have words like ass. Ass is hardly even a dirty word anymore, but it has a few meanings that you can't say on television. That's what I was talking about. What can you say on television? That's another one of those places where we can't use these words all the time. But some of them are all right some of the time. Ass is all right on television. You can say on television things like, well, you've made a perfect ass of yourself tonight. But you can't say, hey, let's go get some ass. Bitch. Bitch is another word like that. Same kind of word. It's only dirty part of the time. Depends on what you mean by bitch. You might be the lady from the San Diego Zoo visiting one of the Tonight shows, and you might just have a bunch of little canines with you there. One of them is a female. You say, there's the bitch, Johnny, and it's okay, fine. Just don't refer to the singer the same way. That's all. Is that bitch going to do another number? Yes. Animals are fine on those two-way words. And that's it. That's what I was trying to find. The words that were always dirty, not just part of the time, but completely filthy. Well, in looking for these words, I kept finding new categories. We have so many ways of describing these dirty words. Well, we have more ways to describe dirty words than we actually have dirty words. That seems a little strange to me. It seems to indicate that somebody was awfully interested in these words. They kept referring to them. They called them bad words, dirty, filthy, foul, vile, vulgar, coarse, in poor taste, unseemly, street talk, gutter talk, locker room language, barracks talk, bawdy, naughty, saucy, raunchy, rude, crude, lewd, lascivious, indecent, profane, obscene, blue, off-color, risque, suggestive, cursing, cussing, swearing, and all I could think of was shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. That's all I had. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. That was my original list. I knew it wasn't complete, but it was a starter set. Shit, piss, fuck, yes, WBAI is the one who played it. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Now, that was the original list. We've added a few words since then. We've added fart, turd, and twat. And I I know there are some other words that many of you are wondering about, why they haven't been considered, why they haven't shown up on the list thus far. We're looking at them all very closely. Some of your favorites might make the list this year. Asshole, ball bag, hard-on, piss hard, blue balls, taint, nookie, snatch, box, pussy, pecker, peckerhead, pecker tracks, jism, joint, Donecker, dork, poontang, cornhole, and dingleberry. Dingleberry, a very popular word. And to my way of thinking, dingleberry, a rather innocent-sounding word. Dingleberry sounds Christmassy to me, you know.
Let's put one on the tree, Dad.
I would have been out here a little bit sooner, but they gave me the wrong dressing room, and I couldn't find any place to put my stuff. And I don't know how you are, but I need a place to put my stuff. So that's what I've been doing back there, just trying to find a place for my stuff. You know how important that is. That's the whole meaning of life, isn't it? Trying to find a place for your stuff. That's all your house is. Your house is just a place for your stuff. If you didn't have so much goddamn stuff, you wouldn't need a house. You could just walk around all the time. That's all your house is. It's a pile of stuff with a cover on it. You see that when you take off in an airplane and you look down and you see everybody's got a little pile of stuff. Everybody's got their own pile of stuff. And when you leave your stuff, you gotta lock it up. Wouldn't want somebody to come by and take some of your stuff. They always take the good stuff. They don't bother with that crap you're saving. Ain't nobody interested in your 4th grade arithmetic papers. They're looking for the good stuff. That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Now, sometimes you've got to move. You got to get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. You've got to move all your stuff. And maybe put some of your stuff in storage. Now imagine that. There's a whole industry based on keeping an eye on your stuff. Enough about your stuff. Let's talk about other people's stuff. Did you ever notice when you go to somebody else's house, you never quite feel 100% at home? You know why? No room for your stuff. Somebody else's stuff is all over the place. And what awful stuff it is. Where did they get this stuff? And if you have to stay overnight at someone's house, you know, unexpectedly, and they give you a little room to sleep in that they don't use that often, someone died in it 11 years ago, and they haven't moved any of his stuff. Or wherever they give you to sleep, usually right near the bed, there's a dresser, and there's never any room on the dresser for your stuff. Someone else's shit is on the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is shit, and your shit is stuff? Now, sometimes you go on vacation, you gotta bring... Or wherever they give you to sleep, usually right near the bed, there's a dresser, and there's never any room on the dresser for your stuff. Someone else's shit is on the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is shit, and your shit is stuff? Get that off of there. Now, sometimes you go on vacation, you gotta bring some of your stuff with you. You can't bring all your stuff, just the stuff you really like. The stuff that fits you well that month. Let's say you're gonna go to Honolulu. You're gonna go all the way to Honolulu. You gotta take 2 big bags of stuff, plus your carry-on stuff, plus the stuff in your pockets. You get all the way to Honolulu and you get in your hotel room and you start to put away your stuff. That's the first thing you do in a hotel room is put away your stuff. I'll put some stuff in here, put some stuff down there. Here's another place for some stuff here. I'll put some stuff over there. You put your stuff over there. I'm putting my stuff over here. Here's another place for some stuff. Hey, we got more places than we've got stuff. We're gonna have to buy more stuff. Yeah. And you put all your stuff away, and you know that you're thousands of miles from home, and you don't quite feel at ease, but you know that you must be okay because you do have some of your stuff with you. And you relax in Honolulu on that basis. That's when your friend from Maui calls and says, hey, why don't you come over to Maui for the weekend, spend a couple of nights over here? Oh, shit, no. Now what stuff do you bring?
Right, you've got to bring an even smaller version of your stuff. Just enough stuff for a weekend on Maui. And you get over, and you're really spread out now. You've got shit all over the world. You've got stuff at home, stuff in storage, stuff in Honolulu, stuff in Maui, stuff in your pockets. Supply lines are getting longer and harder to maintain. But you get over to your friend's house in Maui, and they give you a little place to sleep, and there's a little window ledge or some kind of a small shelf, and there's not much room on it, but it's okay because you don't have much stuff now. And you put what stuff you do have up there. You put your imported French toenail clippers, your odor readers with the 45-day guarantee, your cinnamon-flavored dental floss, and your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And even though you're a long way from home, you know that you must be okay because you do have your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And you relax in Maui on that basis. That's when your friend says, hey, I think tonight we'll go over the other side of the island and stay at my friend's house overnight. Oh, shit, no. No! What do you bring? Now you just bring the things you know you're gonna need. Money, keys, comb, wallet, lighter, hanky, pen, cigarettes, contraceptives, Vaseline, whips, chains, whistles, dildos, and a book.
Here's some just plain old words that are sort of fun to think of or look at more closely than usual. Things like hot water heater. Have you ever thought of hot water heaters?
Pardon me? I said I'd like to buy a hot water heater. What the hell for? Hot water doesn't need to be heated. You must want a cold water heater. How about a hot water cooler?
Yeah, some words are fun. Words like flammable. Flammable, inflammable, and non-inflammable. Why are there three? Does it seem to you as though two words ought to be able to handle that idea? I mean, either the thing flams or it doesn't flam. Now, flammable, that's the one that's on the side of the truck. Flammable. As if you're going to get out of your car at 60 miles an hour and smoke on his truck, right? Flammable. I found out the reason it says that on the truck is so that just in case you should be spinning out of control at 70 or 80, heading for the truck, you'll know what it was that happened, you know?
I'd like to talk a little bit about baseball and football. Starting with baseball. Baseball is different from any other sport in a lot of different little ways. For instance, in most sports, you score points or you score goals. In baseball, you score runs. In most sports, the ball or the object is put in play by the offensive team. In baseball, the defense puts the ball in play, and only the defensive team is allowed to touch the ball. In fact, in baseball, if an offensive player touches the ball intentionally, he's out. Also, most sports, the team is run by a coach. In baseball, the team is run by a manager. And only in baseball does the manager or the coach have to wear the same uniform the players do. Can you picture Bill Parcells in his New York Giants uniform? Now, baseball and football are different from one another in other kind of interesting ways, I think. First of all, baseball is a 19th century pastoral game. Football is a 20th century technological struggle. Baseball is played on a diamond, in a park, the baseball park. Football is played on a gridiron in a stadium, sometimes called Soldier Field or War Memorial Stadium. Baseball begins in the spring, the season of new life. Football begins in the fall when everything is dying.
In football, you wear a helmet.
In baseball, you wear a cap.
Football is concerned with downs. What down is it?
Baseball is concerned with ups. Who's up? Are you up? I'm not up. He's up.
In football, the specialist comes in to kick.
In baseball, the specialist comes in to relieve someone.
In football, you receive a penalty.
In baseball, you make an error.
Whoops! Football has hitting, clipping, spearing, blocking, piling on, late hitting, unnecessary roughness, and personal fouls.
Baseball has the sacrifice.
Football is played in any kind of weather. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, mud. Can't read the numbers on the field, can't read the yard markers, can't read the players' numbers. The struggle will continue.
In baseball, if it rains, we don't come out to play. I can't come out to play. It's raining out.
Baseball has a 7th inning stretch. Football has the 2-minute warning.
Baseball has no time limit. We don't know when it's going to end. We might have extra innings.
Football is rigidly timed, and it will end even if we have to go to sudden death.
In baseball, during the game in the stands, there's kind of a picnic feeling. Emotions may run high or low, but there's not that much unpleasantness.
In football, in the stands during the game, you can be sure that at least 27 times you were perfectly capable of taking the life of a fellow human being. Preferably a stranger.
And finally, the objectives of the two games are totally different. In football, the object is for the quarterback, otherwise known as the field general, to be on target with his aerial assault, riddling the defense by hitting his receivers with deadly accuracy, in spite of the blitz, even if he has to use the shotgun. With short bullet passes and long bombs, he marches his troops into enemy territory, balancing this aerial assault with a sustained ground attack which punches holes in the forward wall of the enemy's defensive line. In baseball, the object is to go home and to be safe. I hope I'll be safe at home. Safe at home.
Hey, baby, what's happening? Que pasa? Que what you call your pasa? Al Sleet here, you hippy-dippy weather, man. With all the hippy-dippy weather, man. Brought to you by Parsons Pest Control. Do you have termites, water bugs, and roaches? Well, Parsons will help you get rid of the termites and water bugs and help you smoke the roaches. Temperature at the airport is 88 degrees, which is stupid, man, because I don't know anybody who lives at the airport. Now, if you'll take a look at our national weather map, you'll see that we don't have one. So try to picture last night's map in your mind. Remember all the letters and lines, all the little numbers. The weather is dominated by a large Canadian low, which is not to be confused with a Mexican high. Tonight's forecast, dark. Continued dark tonight, turning to partly light in the morning. So try to picture last night's map in your mind. Remember all the letters and lines, all the little numbers. The weather is dominated by a large Canadian low, which is not to be confused with a Mexican high. Tonight's forecast, dark. Continued dark tonight, turning to partly light in the morning.
Well, Al got out of the weather business when he realized he had given the final weather forecast. He had given the ultimate forecast. There was nowhere to go. You know, when there's nothing left to conquer in your field, hey, it's time to leave. And old Al had given the ultimate forecast. He told us, he said one night,
that the weather will continue to change on and off for a long, long time.
And he was gone from us. God bless Al.
I love that dog. I've never seen him, and I love him. He's gonna be wonderful when I meet that dog. Lots of people got lots of goddamn doggies. You don't even have to have one to learn about doggies. Your friend might have a dog. It could be your friend's dog. That makes him your dog friend. You go to visit your friend, this dog is in, you pet him too. Hi, hello, how are you, Sneezy? You're wonderful. Hello, goddamn. And for that moment, he's your dog. So you can have someone else's dog for a while. Hi, he likes me. I think, oh my God, look at this doggy here. Goddamn doggies. Lots of things to know about them, too. Lots of things you learn. You don't know where always, and you can't remember. For instance, can you remember the first time you found out that by scratching a dog here, you could make this leg go like that? And that you could make it stop when you stop. God damn. I'm in complete control of this dog. Or that you can make their head tilt from across the room just by making a funny noise. You go, and he goes.
Oh, look, honey, isn't he cute? Let's get his head fixed so he stays like that.
Did you ever spell in front of your dog? Some of them are smart. You've got to spell. Honey, do we have any more B-O-N-E-S? B-O. They know the sound of B alone. B-bone, bone, 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 bone. Take it easy, take it easy.
And sooner or later, what's going to happen with the little dog? Sooner or later, lying on the bed, he's going to create an incident. He's going to make one of you humans turn to the other and say, honey, did you fart?
Not me. I thought you farted.
Not me. That's not even one of my farts. I've got 4 farts, and that's not one of mine. I've got my Heineken's fart. I got my broccoli fart. My rice pudding fart, and my non-dairy creamer fart. And that's not one of my farts. I know. The dog farted. Tippy, why did you fart? Look at him, he knows he farted. I've seen his asshole open up. I see it. Well, I happen to be looking at his asshole by chance. What kind of a question is that? I thought he was doing them deep breathing exercises. You see, dogs have nothing to do. There's no job description for a dog. They're forced to wait for something to happen that they can get in on. If you do something, they'll be glad to join you. But they rarely initiate any activity on their own. They're just waiting, waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting to come in, waiting to go out, waiting to eat, waiting to crap, waiting to wake up, waiting to sleep, waiting to go upstairs, waiting to go downstairs. Sometimes they're just waiting to wait. You ever seen a dog just standing there? He don't know what he's waiting for. But if it happens, he'll be ready. Just a waiting and a waiting. Waiting for you to come home. They don't understand time. Dog doesn't know the difference between an hour and a half or next week. He thinks you're going to be gone forever. That's the only time period dogs really understand. Forever. That's how long they think everything lasts.
That's how long they think everything takes. Forever and ever. Did you ever scratch your dog behind the ears? Oh boy, they love that, huh? Oh boy, you're scratching your doggy behind the ears and he really loves that. And you're looking at him and everything. And when you finally stop, he looks at you like you're a criminal. He thought it was going to go on and on and on. Same thing when you feed them. As soon as they get finished, they say, where the fuck's the food? They thought it was the loaves and the fishes. It was going to last forever and ever. Dog don't know. They must think we're going to be gone forever. Otherwise, why would they act the way they do when we finally get home? Oh boy, 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 oh boy. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I didn't know what to do. You know what? I didn't know how to operate the can opener. How do you operate the can opener? I didn't know what to do, man. What do you push it down? I couldn't think of it. You know what? You know what I did? I took a can of dog food and I rolled it down the hill and hope a truck ran it over. That's all I could think of, man. Really hungry. They'll do that if you even just forgot your hat. You come back in 8 seconds. Oh boy, I thought you were never going to come home. I was going to eat the bird. I couldn't find the bird. Where the fuck's the bird? And you ate the bird. Will you stop? I was just here. Dog don't care. He'll do whatever's next. He don't know what's next, but he'll do something. They'll do two things in a row that don't go together. You ever seen a dog walking through a room and suddenly he stops and chews his back for 18 minutes? And then when he's finished chewing, as if it were scheduled for right then, of course. And when he's finished, he doesn't even know where it was he was gonna go. Where was I gonna go? Oh, shit. Oh, I think I'll go over here. Oh, this is nice over here. I think I'll keep coming over here. He give you that doggy look. Give you them eyes, you know, they have such a great expression, almost human. Sometimes we say that, isn't it? Look, he looks almost human, Dan. They do, you know, they look like they know something about your mother. They're not willing to mention it right away. They're just looking at you like they got a trade problem they can't quite solve. There's a sad look in their eyes. All the sadness in the world is right in the eyes of a dog. Did you ever do this? Look right into your doggy's eyes. Think of something really sad, and it'll look like it's happening to your dog. Strangest thing, they'll look at you like that. You know why they have so successful a look? Because they got eyebrows. Dogs have eyebrows, or at least little ridges that pass for eyebrows. They got little things that they can manipulate, just like we do. Oh, please, please, Daddy, one more treat. Cats can't look at you like that. Cats don't look at that. Cats look at you coldly as if they're testing new eyes. Reason cats look different, cats don't have eyebrows. Cats have a bunch of shit sticking out of their head. They thought it was going to be an eyebrow, but it didn't work out. Let's not tell them. They think it's an eyebrow. It's just a bunch of shit sticking out of their heads. Cats are cute. Cats are goddamn cute. Isn't he cute? Look at him. God, he's cute. He's a kitty cat. That's how cute they are. They needed two names. Kitty wasn't cute enough. Kitty cat. Isn't he cute? The kitty cat. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Let's drown him. He's a little goddamn kitty cat. Ain't he? Look. Stick him on the wall. See if he hangs up there. Whoa. Little goddamn kitty cat. They're so goddamn cute. Oh, they're wonderful. God love them. They're so physical. That's what's fun. They're so physical. They love to rub on you. They love to rub on you. If you've got a leg and a cat, whew, you got a party. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I love his leg, oh boy. I'm rubbing on his leg, oh boy, oh boy. If you got two legs, shit, Jubilee celebration time. Oh boy, two legs, hot shit, I can do the figure eight. They love to do the figure eight, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, I love to rub on his leg. They'll rub against your leg even if you're not there yet. You might still be 50 feet down the hall. They see you coming, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, soon I'll be rubbing on his leg. Soon. They'll even walk sideways so they don't miss you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They love it. They're so physical. You don't have to pet a cat. You just put your hand over him and he'll do all the work, man. You pet him. You ever pet a cat who's lying absolutely flat, and before you're halfway finished, his ass is way up in the air? Like you pressed the ass button or something. Isn't he a cute little holy shit? How did he do that? Then they jump on your chest and put their ass right in your face. Here's my ass, Dad. Check this ass, huh? And while they're showing you their ass, they give you some of this stuff. I say, get him off of me! Jesus, I hate that. I don't even know what it is, and I don't like it. Look like they're into some bad drug. There's one other quality cats have, which I admire. Cats don't accept blame. They don't embarrass at all. Cat does something dumb, you never know it by looking at him. Dog knocks over a lamp, you can tell who did it just by looking at the dog. Not the cat. Cat doesn't accept any blame. Cat moves along to the next activity. What's that? Not me. Fuck that. I'm a cat. Something break? Ask the dog. Cat doesn't get embarrassed. You ever seen a cat race across a carpet and crash into a glass door? I meant that. I meant that. I meant that. That's exactly how I wanted that to look. Fucking meow. Fucking meow. Fucking meow. That's what they say when they get behind the couch. Cat's too proud to let you see him suffer. But you look behind the couch and you'll find your cat recuperating from a domestic accident. They got little slings and walkers, you know. Tried to make the window from the lamp.
To me, fuck, I am fuck, who are you? Fuck.
I remember all the flags and working your way through and all that stuff. I remember that. Try doing it under PvP circumstances. Right? Try doing a Nagy raid when fucking people want to kill you. You want to talk about difficult? That could be difficult.
Report it to me.
And you can try that, try the follow button. If you had it on guard, it's going to stay where it is.
I have a turbo toad incoming.
Alright.
Hey, Gnarly, the eagle has landed.
Panic
I
spell.
repeat, the eagle has landed.
Good.